Hello everybody, how are you all doing? Hope you're all well. So, it's just a little quick one. To sort of explain why I've not been around on YouTube for a bit, if you care. So it's not because the car hasn't been here, because the car's been back for a few months. It's had all the issues fixed, including the oil leak that had been picked up on the past 3 MOTs, which I picked up when I done my car vertical check. And I asked them, has the oil leak been fixed? Because it's been on the last 3 MOTs and it's showing it's still on it now. Yeah, it's been fixed. And we all know how that went. All the leaks have been fixed. The park brake actuator's been replaced. I think there was a wheel bearing and the park brake shoes. Yeah, there was other bits as well. They found a massive, I can't remember whether it was a hydraulic leak or another oil leak somewhere now. But he took a loss on the car now because it cost him near enough £7,000 on a 12 grand car to get it in the condition it was sold as, with no leaks. So it's not, that's the reason it's not the car. The car's been back for months. So the reason I haven't been on YouTube is a few months back. Well, not even a few months back really, probably towards the end of last year, I started struggling with the depression and the anxiety with the PTSD, and then it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And then I've even been to therapy, and she said I had a nervous breakdown or a mental breakdown. There's a more polite way of putting it. I think it's mental health crisis. But since I'm talking about myself, I'm not insulting myself. I don't give a shit. I'm not calling it a mental health crisis because it offends people. I had a nervous breakdown or a mental breakdown, whichever way you want to word it. Wasn't looking after myself. Wasn't eating right. Just in no mood to do nothing. No matter how much I tried motivating myself, I just couldn't get it. But like I say, if you've had therapy, you know what I mean? How Americans that have had therapy. Whether it's worth or not, I don't know. I don't even feel no difference, you know what I mean? It's gradually been getting a little bit easier the past 6 to 8 months. So we're on a path forward. And I'm not one of them people. I'm not telling you this to try and get sympathy off people. I don't care. I don't want sympathy. I don't need it. Do you know what I mean? It's just an explanation as to why I've not been about as much as I probably should have been. Or I'd like to be, should I say. So that's the reason I've not been about. There's not much I'm going to get round to doing on the car before Christmas now. There's the external A-pillars, they're coming loose. I've got clips for them. The door moulding on the outside of the passenger door, when you shut the passenger door, the actual moulding at the front just pops off. You push it back in and it stays in until you shut the door again. Needs new clips. I've ordered them. Ordered all the clips from Powerful UK. And that's it for this year probably. If the weather clears up any, because it's been miserable rain, then I've just ordered myself a load of new car cleaning stuff that I've never used before. And I think I've only ever seen one other YouTuber using them, and that was Paul Dolan. He used snow foam and pre-wash, and he didn't like one of them, or it might have been both of them. So if the weather clears up a bit and I get the chance to get out and get the Ranger cleaned, then it'll get cleaned and we'll go through all the new products, see how they are and all that. The car does need little bits of work doing, but it's just maintenance. It's not a massive. I'm pretty sure the discs and pads front and rear are going to need doing before its MOT in February. So regardless, I'm going to have to get out and get the car up and get the front discs and pads changed in January, regardless of the weather. The front suspension arms are a little bit corroded, so they're going to need replacing, but I think it'll pass an MOT with that, so I'll probably leave that until later on in the year. And then it's just a case of getting the car into the condition I want it at, that I'll be happy with it at, like getting all the little niddly bits done, like little bits of paintwork it needs doing. Like there's a little scuff about that big on the back bumper on one of the corner, I think it's my driver's side corner, where someone's hit something. It's a deep scratch, like, but it's not massive. It's not, like I say, it's only about that big, but it hasn't been repaired properly. It's just literally been cleaned and painted over. It hasn't been sanded, it hasn't been filled, nothing. It's just been cleaned and painted over. So you can, it's a 10-footer, do you know what I mean? You can see it from less than 10 foot away. More than 10 foot away and you're laughing, you can't see it. There's just a couple of other little niggly bits around the car that I'd want to get sorted, so the car's in as close to pristine condition as possible. The wheels need refurbing because they never got refurbed properly last time. I think they've just filled over where the gouges were, or where the little scratches were, and just threw a quick coat of paint over it. So the wheels will be getting stuck, I don't know where yet, and getting dipped, stripped and powder coated probably. Yeah, I'll probably go for powder coating. The car does need a full service, even though when I got the car back, the fella at the dealership has said, because you haven't had the car for so long, I've done an oil change for you. Okay, well, I don't particularly believe anything that comes out of that man's mouth anymore, so it'll be getting a full service, filters, fuel filters, the lot, oil, gearbox, diff, the lot, everything's getting done. So that should be fun, seeing if I can do a full service on the Rangy, on the Zarath. I've had to buy some new tools. I went up to storage a couple of weeks back to get all my tools out, so I could start getting some bits done on the car. It's not there. So they must have got lost in transit when we first bought the house and when we moved in. It's like 15, 16 years ago now. So I've just gone to Halfords and bought one of them big Halfords advanced auto care toolbox things, which is good because anything that's got the Halfords advanced stamped on it, if it breaks, you take it in and they'll replace it for free anyway. It's a lifetime warranty, so that's handy. I think the battery needs changing because I keep getting an intermittent suspension fault. Every like 3 or 4 days it'll pop up, turn the engine off, turn it back on and it goes away again. So I think the battery needs changing, and if that doesn't clear that, then I'll take it into the JLR lads and just get them to run a proper diagnostics on it, because I've only got the iCar Soft for JLRs. I don't know if the software on that is, I don't know if the software on that's just the same as what they'd use at JLR, the JLR specialist. I don't know. Maybe they could dive deeper into the codes and see what it is. But it's popped up a load of codes. Something I can't remember now. I've left my phone in the house with all the pictures of the codes on. One was for the ABS, one was for the suspension not releasing air, I think. So it's come up with a few fault codes, but putting a new battery in the car might resolve some of them. I don't know. So we'll go for the new battery first. I've read the codes. You can only go so far, really, can't you? If changing the battery doesn't resolve them, I'll take it to the JLR specialist who our fella uses and get them to have a look and see what they are. Other than that, yeah, it's popping up with a suspension code, fault code on the suspension. But the first time I did it, I raised the suspension to its highest point, to the access point, and then locked it. Left it on the driveway overnight, and the suspension was all still up high. So I don't know if it's a massive problem with the suspension. I think it might just be like, if it's a problem at all, it might just be because the battery's not putting enough voltage through. It might just be throwing a few fault codes out, which Land Rovers tend to do. But we'll see. We'll have to wait and see. Like I say, I've only got little bits to do before Christmas. If the weather clears up, I'll get a good clean going, and you can see all this new product that I've sort of found. Well, it's not new. It's new to me. I've never used them before, and never even heard of them, and then I was just looking for British-made car cleaning products, and I found it. So we'll give it a whirl. We'll see how good they are, and I'll catch you in a bit.